What's up, y'all? Welcome back to All Out. I'm your host, a guy who talks too much. It's no secret my videos tend to deal with some heavier topics than the average YouTube channel, but I guess that's just the nature of the machine. That's why I try to break up the topics with silly intros and interstitial funnies throughout the videos. But this video is weird. The album starts off being somewhat okay, but then the more you look into it, the deeper and deeper it gets, depending on your tolerance. However, with that being said, the album I'm going to talk about today acts much like an onion. The more you peel back, the more layers you find and the deeper it gets. This video is definitely one of the most layered topics I've covered on the channel to date. I pull back the first layer and it just gets deeper and deeper until I'm legitimately reading the Bible as research. Silver Mount Zion, a side project of Godspeed You, Black Emperor, created an album that sent me down a spiral of religion, angels, life, and death. How's that for a thesis statement? Quite a jarring start to the video, I do have to say. But the details of this album will reveal themselves as the storytelling progresses. You know, that's how videos work. So, who's this Silver Mount Zion guy? Well, actually, I found out this project because of a viewer. Someone requested it to me, and I'm forgetting your name right now, but you know who you are, and thank you for that. And if you want to recommend an album to listen to, or just want to give your thoughts on the record in the comments to start a conversation and drive the engagement, that'd be really appreciated. Wow, I almost started legitimately puking. So, Silver Mount Zion is a post-rock duo comprised of guitarist Ephraim Menick and bassist Thierry Amar, with more members being added and subtracted as the group's discography develops. The group goes by a few different names: A Silver Mount Zion, The Silver Mount Zion Memorial Orchestra, The Silver Mount Zion Memorial Orchestra and Tra-La-La Band, the Silver Mount Zion Memorial Orchestra and Tra-La-La Band with choir, and the Silver Mountain Reveres. But for simplicity's sake, I will just be referring to this group as Silver Mount Zion. But these aren't some new dudes bursting onto the scene. These guys have some weight behind their hard to pronounce names, because these men are actually part of another post-rock band, Godspeed You, Black Emperor. Now, if you walk into the Rate Your Music bar, slap your meat on the table and say, "I'm a member of Godspeed You," you're getting free drinks all night. But Silver Mount Zion wasn't created because Godspeed ended. This was actually an additional moniker created by the two men. I know going into this, talking about this record without talking about Godspeed You, Black Emperor would be difficult, but I did want to give a little bit of background. But self-admittedly, I haven't really listened to that much of Godspeed's work, except for some odd tracks here and there, so I don't feel entirely comfortable going deep into Godspeed You's discography or backstory or anything like that. You, stop, I see you typing, save it. Oh yeah, you gotta listen to Godspeed, yeah. I know, it's on the list. But this video isn't about Godspeed You, it's about Silver Mount Zion. Zion was created as a break-off group from the main Godspeed You gang. Over the years of Zion's discography and releases, they would add more and more members to create the orchestral moniker I spoke about earlier, but again, I'm jumping around too much. Maybe in the future, if the demand is there, I'll check out Zion's other work, or fuck it, even a video on Godspeed You, Black Emperor themselves, if the music speaks to me. But no, this is not about anything else. This is about one band, one era, one record. The topic of the video. Excellent. Like I mentioned before, the Canadian post-rock group created an album that seems like an onion to me. I see one layer and I just keep peeling more and more back, finding so much more as I go on. Silver Mount Zion released the album He Has Left Us Alone, but Shafts of Light Sometimes Grace the Corner of Our Rooms. Badass name. The Godspeed You boys really know how to make a badass album name. So, He Has Left Us Alone, but Shafts of Light Sometimes Grace the Corner of Our Rooms is, in a word, good. Very good, actually. For me, post-rock is such an all-encompassing phrase. Like, so many artists and types of music are under this genre label, from Swans to Black Country New Road to Slint. You never know what you're gonna get. So if I had to add my own genre onto Rate Your Music, I'd say this is alternative, post-rock, orchestral, electronic. I don't know what this shit is, man, but it's good. All throughout this record are beautiful strings and ethereal pads. Something I can unironically say made me do the meme like, okay, I'm gonna ascend real quick. Surprisingly accessible chord progressions and melodies, weird instrumentation and samples, and just frankly heartbreaking sounds. But that's the surface level of the onion, looking at someone who just listened to the album, no background knowledge, nothing. Let's peel back another layer, shall we? This whole record came about because while on tour with Godspeed You, Ephraim's dog Wanda died of cancer, and he had this desire to record something for her. The album would be created over the period Godspeed You was on tour for their album F-sharp A-sharp Infinity, and upon me returning to the album with these clear and blatant references to death and afterlife, it took on a whole new vibe and message to me. I don't want to spoil the record too much, leave a few surprises if you want to check this out yourself, but the last track, For Wanda, is rough, man. I just can't shake the feeling that this song is the sound of Wanda suffering or her unease in her last moments, and the last third is Wanda passing and ascending forth. A truly heartbreaking track when you listen to it with this context. I forget the exact place I saw this comment, but someone said when you think about Wanda and her passing with the song, you can't help but remember your own childhood pet's passing, and the music just takes a much deeper quality when you think about it from that parallel. And the entire album for that matter. This is a record for you when you're in your feels and you just need to have a nice cry while contemplating life for about an hour. Peeling back another layer, we see the themes of Judaism throughout this record. Ephraim described the recording of this album as a Jewish experience due to his immersion with a small, friend-based Jewish community in Montreal. And because of that, the titles and lyrics on this record have a strong sense of Judaism. None show so prominently like the track Movie Never Made. He talks about hora, which is a type of circle dance. It's traditionally danced at weddings or other joyous occasions of the Jewish community. Shoshana is a Jewish name, and the anti-Semitism for Nazis tear-gassing homes and businesses of Jewish people. Even the name Mount Zion is a reference to a hill in Jerusalem outside the walls of the old city. It's another subtext I went and tried to find upon re-listening to the album. However, all these referential images is not 100% confirmed by Ephraim, being secretive about the deep meanings of the lyrics, but this is the consensus the internet has commonly come to. Let's peel back one last layer, shall we? Now, I have a complicated relationship with TikTok. Quite an interesting start to the section, Jake. I'm all ears. Yeah, it's true. I'm very open about my dislike for the app, but I always find myself circling back around to at least being somewhat familiar with the goings-on in the app. You know, Caretaker had his day in the sun as a TikTok meme, and quick shout out to the New York Times for completely blowing past all the great YouTubers who had strengthened the lore of the Caretaker and calling it a TikTok challenge. Yeah, I'm still a little salty about that. Sour grapes probably, but I digress. Something I didn't know about this record in particular is it had its day in the sun too. A song off this album was a TikTok trend. It's still weird saying that out loud. My brain almost won't let my mouth make the syllables to say that. But yes, a song off this record became a TikTok trend. My favorite song off this record, as a matter of fact. 13 Angels Standing Guard Around the Side of Your Bed. A really good song, the most ethereal on here with these gorgeous strings and calming guitar, but sprinkled with these really cool sample works and electronic parts as well. So, how the fuck did this post-rock band make a TikTok trend? Well, quick shout out to the YouTube channel Eclaim TV. I pretty much take the narrative created on their channel. They'll be in the end when I talk about the works cited section, but I wanted to say it up front here. Think of it as a direct quote citation. I don't know, it's summer. Leave me alone. I should not be writing essays for another 4 weeks. What was I saying? Yes, TikTok. The song 13 Angels Standing Guard Around the Side of Your Bed became a TikTok trend because of this. Yes, so the whole gimmick of that trend is the audio I just played to you is supposed to be real audio of angels. Silver Mount Zion apparently captured real angels in audio. They never just looked it up. You know, it says the song on the bottom of your TikToks. I'm just taking the piss. I'd probably be in the same boat if I didn't have hindsight on my side. But yeah, a lot of users would use this and pretty much state how this is supposed to be real angel noises. Also, quick side note, watching these videos just shows me how creatively bankrupt that app is because everyone is doing the exact same thing. But nonetheless, Silver Mount Zion had the world captured with their 13 Angels song. But the internet moves quick. People eventually realized who made the song, and it turned into a debate of what the noises were. Spoiler alert, they're synths and cat meows. But over time, it would lean away from the angel narrative, and it just turned into this sound you use over creepy or unsettling footage or images. And finally, the meme reached its conclusion. Like all things must on the internet. Someone made a trap remix out of it.
Hey, give me this, give me that, why they acting like that? Huh? Me get abused on the own and chat.
It's just kind of funny because this guy probably doesn't know the biblical and existential themes underneath the songs on this album, but just the idea of someone making a trap remix out of this is funny to me. But I don't blame him. The internet does what it's good at. Create. He's left us alone, but shafts of light sometimes grace the corner of our rooms. This title can be in reference to a few different things. The metaphorical angels at your bedside, God himself or whatever you believe in visiting you, or maybe it's Wanda. Even in passing, shafts of light still come by to say hello. I went into this record expecting another good post-rock ambient album, but I left with so much more. Feelings of dealing with the sudden, or in some cases very expected death of a loved one. Biblical and religious aspects to the afterlife and what leads up to it. Even the unexpected TikTok hole I went down, I came away learning more about angels and how angels were described in the Bible, and other descriptions of guardian-like creatures to help those finding themselves in the afterlife navigate safely. Silver Mount Zion honestly did make me question death itself and feelings one has when it's a reality in your life instead of this constant looming threat quietly in the background. It might be a bit sad, but the only thing I really thought of when finishing all my listens to this album, after finding out all the different themes the record portrays, is I hope Wanda's doing okay, wherever she is. And I hope everyone's angels continue to stand guard around our bedside. Yeah, I didn't mean for this to be so heavy. Sorry, I did not expect it to end up like this. I will give it that much. Hopefully you can tell, but I was recording this during a terrible thunderstorm. I was all set, ready to record, no sign of rain whatsoever. Second I sit down, torrential downpour. Whoa. Holy shit. That rocked my entire fucking house. Hopefully I did a good job hiding it, but I think it just fit even better for the atmosphere I was going for this record. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed me talking about this extremely existential album. You know, with hindsight on my side, I do wish I dove a bit deeper into the Godspeed You portion with the discography, or hell, even more of Silvermount Zion's later work, but I don't think you absolutely need the prerequisite classes to take the final, you know? Maybe someday I'll get around to listening to legendary albums like Born Into Trouble as Sparks Fly Upward, or Hallelujah, Don't Bend, Ascend, or Lift Your Skinny Fist Like Intense to Heaven. God damn, these guys make some badass names. Jesus, I think I added some inches in my penis just saying them. But time for everyone's favorite part of the video, the works cited. Wikipedia and Genius are always in my back pocket when I'm doing these videos for the information and the lyrical breakdowns my brain is too small to make for myself. I mentioned it earlier, but shout out to Acclaim TV for the comprehensive story of the app that tricked TikTok into hearing angels. It's a fascinating watch for someone who wasn't there at the time, and I think they did a really good job compressing the tale. Shout out to Triple Beepo for his review of the record. It definitely helps me to figure out the point I want to articulate when someone does a better job of it than me, and his thoughts on this album were really eye-opening and really gave me a kick to make this video. Now this last one, I didn't mention the video anywhere explicitly because I couldn't find a natural flow point to it, but if the concept of angels in the afterlife intrigue you, and it's like 3 a.m. and you want to go down a hole, the channel Holjega did a video called Why Bible Accurate Angels Are So Creepy. I found myself returning this video over and over again in the research of this video, so go check that out if you're so inclined. But yeah, that's the video. I appreciate you sticking around to the end. If you want to support me in other ways, you can check out my Patreon. It's only $5, you get early content, random Patreon-only stuff, and access to my exclusive review series, I've Been Listening to Shit, where I review albums new and old, and albums patrons recommend me listen to. So if you want to guarantee me listen to an album, good way to do it. Also, I might be doing some Patreon-only giveaways in the future, so keep an eye out for that, but I'll announce in other videos, and a bunch of other cool stuff will be linked below, along with a link to my music, my podcast, The Big Fish, The Good Enough, and The Jiffy Not Jiffy, and my socials as well. But yeah, that's about it. I do appreciate you stopping by and seeing what's up. Hopefully you leave a comment below about your thoughts on the record, drive the engagement a little bit, or music I should check out in the future. But as long as you remember to actually make the movie, then you're all set. Thank you for watching. I really appreciate it, and have a pleasant day.